Mike and I have been together for 5 years now. We're still not married, though not for lack of dreaming about it on my part. Our son, Luke, is 4 years old with Mike's charming smile and my stubborn chin. We live together in a house we bought jointly in a quiet suburb with good schools and neighbors who bring casseroles when someone's sick. Until recently, I thought we were genuinely happy. It all began last Tuesday. The marketing agency where I work had wrapped up a major campaign, so my boss let us go early. I decided to surprise Luke by picking him up from daycare myself instead of letting Mike get him after his shift. "Mommy." Luke squealed when he saw me, abandoning the toy trucks he'd been playing with. "You're early." I scooped him up, inhaling the mix of Play-Doh and apple juice that seemed to follow him everywhere. "I sure am, buddy. I thought we could stop for ice cream before heading home." His eyes widened. "Can I get sprinkles?" "You can get double sprinkles," I promised, helping him gather his backpack and lunchbox. All the way to the ice cream shop, Luke chatted about dinosaurs and how his friend Ethan had brought a lizard for show and tell. It wasn't until we were almost home that he dropped the bomb. "Daddy won't be expecting us yet, will he?" I asked, glancing at him in the rearview mirror. Luke shook his head, then leaned forward as far as his car seat would allow. "Mommy," he whispered loudly. "Don't tell Daddy I told you, but I have a secret sister." I nearly missed the stop sign at our corner. "What?" He nodded seriously. "She was here yesterday." Daddy said not to say anything. My heart skipped, then pounded like a warning drum in my chest. But I kept my face calm, not wanting to scare him. "Oh really? What's your sister's name?" "Mia," he said. "She has pretty braids." I pulled into our driveway with shaking hands as my mind raced through possibilities. A cousin? A friend's daughter? Or something far worse? That night, I waited until Luke was asleep. Mike was in the living room, feet up on the coffee table, watching a basketball game like nothing had happened. I stood in the doorway, arms crossed. "Who is she?" He blinked, lowering the volume. "Who?" "The mother of your daughter, of course." I expected him to tell the truth. Or lie. Or maybe start apologizing. What I didn't expect was for him to set down the remote, walk over to me with a strange smile, then kneel and pull out a small velvet box. "Marry me," he said, opening it to reveal a diamond ring that caught the light from our living room lamp. This was classic Mike. Whenever confronted with something uncomfortable, he'd create a distraction, a magic show to make you forget what you were asking about. I'd seen him do it with his boss, with bill collectors, and even with his mother when she asked tough questions. But never with me. Not like this. "Are you serious?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "Yes," he smiled, revealing the dimples that had made me fall for him years ago. "I love you. Let's do it. Let's finally get married." I didn't know whether to cry or slap him. It felt like a diversion, not a dream. "Who was the little girl in our house yesterday?" I asked slowly, the ring box still open between us. His expression flickered just for a second. It was so brief I might have missed it if I hadn't been watching so carefully. That tiny break in his performance told me everything. "Oh, her," he said too casually, rising from his knee. "That's Mia, she's my colleague's daughter. Rachel, you've never met her. She stopped by to grab some materials for the Henderson project. She brought her daughter with her, that's all." I narrowed my eyes. "Why didn't you tell me someone was in our home?" He shrugged, closing the ring box with a snap when he realized I wasn't reaching for it. "It was just work. Didn't seem important." Maybe Luke misunderstood something she said. I nodded slowly, then took the ring box from his hand. The ring was heavier than it looked. "I need some time," I said quietly. "This is a lot." His face dropped, somehow managing to look offended as if I'd rejected a lifelong dream rather than a suspicious, last-minute proposal. "Take all the time you need," he said. "But I thought you'd be happy." That night, I lay awake beside him as my mind raced with questions. Who was Rachel? Why had Mike never mentioned her? And why would Luke think this girl was his sister? The next morning, driving Luke to daycare, I tried again. The rearview mirror showed his little face, serious as he concentrated on the granola bar I'd given him for breakfast. "Hey honey, why did you say you have a sister yesterday?" He thought for a moment, crumbs falling onto his dinosaur t-shirt. "Because the lady said so. She said, 'Come meet your sister.'" I felt a shiver run down my spine. "Who said that exactly?" "The lady who came to see Daddy," he replied simply. "The one with the girl." They stayed for lunch. We had peanut butter sandwiches. My grip tightened on the steering wheel. "Did Daddy make lunch for everyone?" Luke nodded enthusiastically. And we watched Bluey. Mia knows all the characters, even better than me. By the time I dropped Luke off and got home, I was shaking. Mike had already left for work, claiming an early meeting. I did what I should have done months ago when he started working late and taking mysterious phone calls in the garage. While Mike was gone, I opened his laptop. Thankfully, it remembered his password. I searched for Rachel in his emails. Nothing unusual. Then, I checked his messaging apps. The third one I tried was logged in under a different email address I'd never seen. And there she was. Rachel. The messages made my heart race. "She keeps asking about you. You need to tell her soon. Are you serious about leaving her or not? You promised Mia would have her dad full-time soon. She's not stupid, Mike." My stomach clenched as I scrolled through pictures. Mia with Mike at a playground I didn't recognize. Mia with Luke at what looked like an indoor trampoline park, from the day when Mike had told me he was taking Luke to see his brother. Mia with Mike and Rachel at a zoo on the same day Mike claimed he was running errands. I checked the timestamps and dates on the photos. The girl was almost exactly Luke's age. In one photo, there was a birthday cake with 4 candles, dated just 3 weeks after Luke's 4th birthday party. My hands trembled as I took screenshots of everything, sending them to my own email. The evidence was overwhelming. My partner of 5 years, the father of my child, had been living a double life. Then I closed his laptop and put it back exactly as I'd found it. I called a lawyer that afternoon and explained the situation. I told him that the house was jointly owned, that we had a child together, and that I had evidence of his double life. I asked what my options were. The lawyer's voice was calm and practical, helping me think clearly when my emotions wanted to pull me under. Then I did something that terrified me. I called Rachel. I found her number in Mike's secret messages. My heart pounded as the phone rang. "Hello?" Her voice was cautious. "Rachel? My name is Jocelyn." I paused, swallowing hard. "I think we need to talk about Mike." There was a long silence, then a shaky exhale. "I wondered when this day would come," she said finally. "I told her Mike had proposed to me yesterday." There was another long pause. Then she whispered, "He told me you two were separating. He said he wanted to do it gently. For your son's sake." My free hand gripped the kitchen counter. "We've been together for 5 years. We bought this house together 2 years ago. He's been feeding me promises for 4 years," she said. "I got pregnant not long after you did, but I didn't know about you until months later. Until the day your name flashed on his phone while he was at my place." We both sat in stunned silence. "Did you confront him?" I finally asked. "Of course. He said you were his ex who couldn't let go, that you got pregnant to trap him, but he was trying to be a good father to your son." She laughed bitterly. I believed him. God, I'm such an idiot. "No," I said firmly. He's the idiot. And we're going to make sure he knows it. So, we planned something. Together. 2 weeks later, I told Mike I was ready to celebrate our engagement. I'd been quiet but not hostile, making him think I was processing everything. In reality, I was preparing. I invited his family, our friends, and even some of his co-workers, including Rachel. At the party, our house was filled with people congratulating us, and I gave a speech. Mike beamed beside me, completely oblivious. I want to thank everyone for being here, I said, raising my glass. Especially since this is actually not an engagement party. The room quieted and Mike looked at me with wide eyes. Instead, I'd like to give Mike a special gift. I handed him a small gift box wrapped in silver paper. Open it, honey. He hesitated, but I insisted. Inside was a USB drive labeled, Proud Dad. Plug it in, I said sweetly. I want everyone to see. He tried to pull me aside, but it was too late. His brother had already taken the drive and plugged it into the TV. The room went silent as photos and screenshots filled the screen. Everyone saw Mike with 2 children and 2 women. There were messages where he told Rachel he loved her, and others where he reassured me that marriage was coming soon. At that point, the truth was undeniable. He had 2 children the same age, and he had lied to both mothers for years. He went pale, looking desperately around the room. Rachel stood up from where she'd been sitting quietly in the corner. She's not the only one you lied to. People started whispering amongst themselves. They didn't expect this. Soon, they started leaving and didn't even bother saying goodbye to Mike. Mike tried to talk to me later, but I told him we'd talk through lawyers. He moved out that week, and I kept the house. The courts were surprisingly efficient once they saw the evidence. And the ring? I sold it. Paid off the lawyer and booked a vacation for me and Luke. Because sometimes, the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about getting free. Now, when Luke asks about his sister, I tell him the truth in age-appropriate ways. We arrange playdates with Mia. Rachel and I aren't exactly friends, but we're allies in making sure our children don't pay for their father's mistakes. Everything that happened made me learn that trusting my instincts isn't paranoia. It's self-protection. And that sometimes, the family you thought you had isn't the family you deserve. But that doesn't mean you can't build something better from the pieces. Write in the comments what you think about this story and subscribe to our channel D-Damn Mix.